Hi, everyone. This Sunday is very special. After so many weeks of ordinary time in green, we have a special Sunday this week in white. White weeks are special celebrations like Christmas and Easter. This Sunday is All Saints, where we celebrate all saints. Saints are with God in heaven, and they live their lives with God shining through them. This week we remember the example of the saints and pray for God's help to learn from them. Monday is All Souls Day, where we remember those who have died. This week's Gospel is from the Gospel of Matthew. When Jesus saw the crowds, he went up to the mountain, and after he had sat down, his disciples came to him. He began to teach them, saying, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the land. Blessed are they who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the clean of heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are they who are persecuted for the sake of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when they insult you and persecute you and utter every kind of evil against you falsely because of me. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward will be great in heaven." In this week's Gospel, Jesus gives us what we call the Sermon on the Mount. As you have noticed by now, God often uses mountains to tell us something special. It is where his people first heard his commands, and Jesus spent time teaching and praying in mountains. This week, he is telling a crowd some very interesting things on a mountain. The things Jesus tells us on the Sermon of the Mount are also called the Beatitudes, which means blessed. Jesus talks about different types of people who are blessed, but they're actually surprising. First, Jesus tells us that blessed are the poor in spirit, which means they're feeling kind of weak. What? I thought the people who were blessed were strong. But no, Jesus tells us that the kingdom of heaven belongs to the poor in spirit. Wow, that is interesting. Maybe it is because when we know we are weak, we look to God for our strength. Second, Jesus tells us, "Blessed are they who mourn," which means they are sad. What? I thought blessed people were happy. But Jesus tells us they will be comforted. Have you ever had something bad happen and people around you come to help? Sometimes it's surprising how even if things are really bad, people can do beautiful acts of kindness. Third, Jesus tells us that blessed are the meek, who are people who are quiet and don't fight others. Jesus tells us they will inherit the land. But that isn't what we would expect. We would expect the loud, fighting people would win over the land from others. Maybe it's because the meek don't make enemies, that they eventually get to live peacefully. Fourth, Jesus tells us that blessed are they who hunger and thirst for righteousness. That means they want so badly to have goodness that they will do anything for it. See, look, and she's really praying. Jesus tells us they will be satisfied. That makes me really happy. If I want God's goodness and to live in God's ways, I will be able to do that. Wow. Fifth, Jesus tells us that blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. We should show mercy to others because it's a way of letting God work through us. But it is also a way of receiving mercy. God's mercy to let us do His work, even as imperfect as we are. That is amazing. Sixth, Jesus tells us that blessed are the clean of heart, for they will see God. As we know, God is all around us. In every good thing, God is there. If we have a clean heart focused on goodness, we will see God's presence all around us. 7. Jesus tells us that blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. When we make peace with those around us, we are like Adam and Eve who lived as God's children in peace and perfection, at least in the beginning. Finally, Jesus tells us that blessed are those who are treated badly for doing good things, because theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Have you ever had someone do something bad to you because you were doing something good? Jesus is telling us not to worry about that, but to keep thinking about living out God's love. We are really lucky that we had the Beatitudes as our lesson on All Saints. The saints lived out lives that Jesus would say are blessed, even if the rest of the world may not think so. Maybe the rest of the world saw them as poor in spirit, or meek, or mourning. But Jesus tells us that theirs is the kingdom of heaven. This week, let's learn from the saints to follow what Jesus tells us, so that we too can someday be part of the kingdom of heaven.